Good morning, YouTube family. I thought I would jump on here. I'm using my notebook today. Thought I would jump on here and do a quick reading on Nick and Mariah. Why Nick and Mariah? Well, I keep hearing little rumors that Nick wants to get back with her. And also, Mariah has opened a temporary residency, or started a temporary residency in Las Vegas. So I said, well, let me see what's going on with them and them as individuals. So let's take a look at Nick first. Nick's birthday is October 8th, 1980. So let's look at him bit by bit. He is a number one. So as that type of a person, if you listen to my Sierra, I kind of like that. People in October are people who are about themselves. They're very independent. They like to make things happen. They're go-getters. I bet when he was on Nickelodeon, because he did a lot of pushing of that himself. Parent support now, don't think that isn't there, but I think that he really pushed and prodded to make a lot of things happen with that. He liked to do it his way. He probably was a bit of a handful, being that that number one would cause him to be independent and want things to happen. But if they didn't go his way, that it would be an automatic fail or fallout for him. His birthday day is an 8, so he is due to be rather financially well off and stable. No, not Bill Gates type of money, but really good money for him, more than what he would have had expected as he was growing up. He likes to be the manager of things. He'd be if you had a corporation, he could very easily be the head of that corporation, or starting new businesses, or managing people. Money is really all important to him. Money and his work, unfortunately, that comes before anything else, including marriage and kids. Not that he doesn't love his kids, but that comes first. He is funny because he looks to us just exactly what he is. He was meant to be famous. He is a humanitarian who does care about people. He is as gregarious and warm and friendly on TV as he is in real life. He would have not felt as close to one or both of his parents. Seeing how they were would have caused him to be how he was. So there could have been a divorce when he was growing up, or distance in the marriage. He would automatically follow suit with that. He's a Libra. Libras are fine. The Libra men are funny. Like, Libra women are very outspoken and things like that. Libra men are different. Libra men do a lot of back and forth. So that is why he would be back and forth. We want to be Mariah, be with her 1 minute and not the next. He had a strong connection with his mom, it looks like, because that's why he would marry someone who was 11 years older than him. He would like that older, more mature woman. Like, a lot of people think, oh, it's money or this and that. Not at all. He could make money, and he does very easily. He's a money magnet, but he liked the older woman. But he's a bit too back and forth for Mariah. He'd be fun and lighthearted, but he'd also have an attraction to women all the time. His ability to be faithful would be very sketchy. He would seem like a Mr. Right, Mr. Perfect, Mr. all of that, but he has another side to him, like that. They say it's like a scale, it's up and it's down depending on what's in the cups of the scale. And so he's like that as a person. He's up and he's down. He likes to be around or surround himself with people that have things going or making things happen, or that are creative and intelligent and talkative and all of that. He likes to be needed, but not that much. He is a type of guy that's perfectly fine if you go and do your thing and he go and do his thing. He runs very hot and cold. Not a bad person, just indecisive, and he likes money. He thought he wanted to be married, but being a Libra, he would have changed that as time went on. With Mariah, she is, her birthday is March 9th. I came up with an 8 for her. But anyways, March 9th. And she, in her early days, would have been very creative, very much a person that you couldn't take your eyes out off of. Very much hungry and thirsty for the limelight. Wanted to be in the arts. There was just no way that she was going to be, because she comes across like that. That's what we see, and that's what she was in her early years. There just was no way that she wasn't going to be famous. And she was then very malleable, in that when she was younger, if they wanted her to, you know, act like she was white or nondescript on her nationality or race, then she would go along with that for a time. Now she's in a number 9 year, so she has more people that know her and know of her, and she's gotten big again, partly because of her relationship with Nick, because they had a few things in common, but not a lot. But she would have gotten bigger because of the babies, bigger because she seemed to have voice problems, bigger because times have changed and people are looking to different people for that, like Ariana Grande and all that kind of stuff. But she's safe. Her legacy is well established. She's very famous. She's very, very loved, more than what she realizes that she's loved. She needs to slow down, though, when it comes to the excesses of things, of partying or spending and things like that, because she just loves that. And it's more to life than that. She is a good mother. Don't think that she isn't. She's a good mother. She loves those kids. If Nick doesn't want to have custody, she doesn't have any problem with that. She doesn't want to come get him. She doesn't have any problem with that. She's not looking for him for financial support. She's going to continue to have money and make money all her days. It's just natural for her as well. She's a number 2 person. She's an 11 too. 11 is a master number, and I think I've said this before. When you are an 11, sometimes you have a tendency to draw drama to you, because it being a master number, it's hard lessons that you draw to you, or public humiliations that you draw to you, or even wrong choices with relationships or friendships. Your circle can be wrong because you're in this sort of fantasy that everybody should get along, and you want peace and harmony, and you like that. She'd have been a perfect hippie girl, but what happens is, in the midst of you wanting that, always comes up this drama, and it's basically based on the choices that she makes. Right now she's doing a temporary residency in Vegas, and that'll be good for her to have that balance and that stability, because she really does crave that after all. She's an Aries, so she doesn't like to have a lot of people close to her. She picks a few people and she's close to them. If she feels that she can trust you and she's close to you, she really will open up herself. She really did open up herself in that relationship and made herself available, but kind of wanting that white picket fence dream. And that really wasn't really who he was. I'm not saying that he was a bad person. I'm not saying that she was a bad person. I'm just telling you that if there were any two people who were not meant to be together, it was those two. Her being Aries and a fire, and him being Libra and an air, he had the ability to do one of two things: to get her riled up and angry, just like fire or air does. It gives life to a fire. Or he could blow that fire out. And by extinguishing his air or turning his air elsewhere, or even maybe putting too much air on that fire, just like a birthday candle, you blow it out with the wind in your inside of you. She's in a number 211 year, so I think her Vegas residency, although good for her and the kids as a whole, because she has supposedly gotten a place to live and everything out there, that's great. but it's going to be a bit issue-laden. You're going to see a lot of stories of slow ticket sales, or her voice isn't there, or whatever. But I can tell you this, that whoever does come out and sees the show, they're going to have a great show. It's just going to be a lot of negative press sort of surrounding it. In her sea of wanting to be stability, she'll really have to stay dedicated and working hard on herself. And in terms of the relationship, she's not going back to that. That's over. He's got a tendency to be quite harsh. Okay? You know how some people can say things and they're so blunt and they're so direct. And if she's been a bit of a diva, or the facade of a diva, saying those things would be really hurtful for her. He can behave in ways that are very hurtful. Like she's expecting him to be home for dinner, let's say, and he doesn't show, or it's midnight and she's got to blow out the candles and then put the champagne up and that type of a thing. Both of them are nice enough people. It's just I really wouldn't want to tangle with him more so than her, because he can be really hard. He can be really harsh. He can really have high expectations. He's too changeable, and like I said, she needs stability. And Aries are slow to warm up to people, but when they do, they go full on, wholeheartedly. She goes into every one of her projects full on, head down, horns up, and going straight at it and making it happen. So I think she'll do okay in Vegas. I don't think it is I don't know if it'll be as big or as spectacular as maybe what she wanted, but she'll do quite all right. She wants it to be really like something that is not robotic like a Britney Spears show, but she's going to actually be singing live, not from a tape and lip singing and things like that. So we'll see how that goes. It's the vocals that she needs to work on. It's the making sure that she gets enough rest. She has a problem with that, making sure that she's not necessarily drinking all the time. Sometimes she can have a bit of a problem with that. Lovely lady, though. I really love her, and I really like him too. I have to be honest with it. But as the couple, I don't see them getting back together. I do see them trying to maintain a friendship for the children, and just sort of moving along like that. And I think tabloids and the TMZs and things will blow up out of proportion every little meeting that they have, or every little get together they have, or whatever, because they'll do that, birthdays and things like that. But because she needs that, she likes that, and she's going to require that, and he'll be okay. That'll be enough for him to do that type of thing. Anyways, that's my reading with them. So what happened with them? They just weren't compatible. It's plain and simple. You can have a lot of chemistry when you meet somebody and you can hear bells ringing and birds singing, and it just seems like, oh, the best thing that ever happened to you. And it turns out to only be a physical attraction. And when that love isn't there, one or both of them will get bored and they'll move on to the next person. So good luck to them. You guys have a great morning. It is Monday, May 4th, and about 10:30 in the morning, and you guys have a great day. If you like it, comment, subscribe, and thumbs up. And thanks for listening always. Bye-bye.